Okay, hello everybody. Getting ready to do lesson 4.5 of Algebra 1 Math. It will be part 1, and if you need this stuff here, you know the email. 4.5, write equations of parallels and perpendiculars. And for this lesson here, we got a 30-point skill sheet, and we got a 19-point note-taking guide. If you need a note-taking guide, it's a lot easier to take notes. Email me. Here is the standard here. Teachers, here's your bell work for your students. Graph this equation here. I would give them 5 minutes to do this. Okay, welcome back. We're going to graph your equation, but first we got a verbal model here to go from to write an equation here. 20n plus 5t equals 100 here. 20n plus 5t equals 100. And then here's our graph. We're in quadrant 1. And then here is a falling line here that shows different costs for different combinations of services provided. Number of nights, and then the t-intercepts treats. So you have nights here, and you got treats. T-intercept indicates treats here, nights, and then treats. Okay, so write equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. You use slope to determine whether parallel. The converse of a conditional statement interchanges the hypotheses and the conclusion. The converse of a true statement is not necessarily true, so the converse of a conditional statement interchanges the hypotheses and conclusion. You've learned that the statement if two non-vertical lines have the same slope and they are parallel is true. Its converse is also true. So parallel lines, if two non-vertical lines in the same plane have the same slope, then they are parallel. If two non-vertical lines in the same plane are parallel, then they have the same slope. Now both these are true, and this is the converse of that. They're both true. And example 1, write an equation of parallel lines. We've got an equation of a line that passes through -3, -5, and it's parallel to this line here. So write an equation that's parallel to this line and contains these 2 points. So we have a slope of 3, and we got these 2 points. So what do? Find a y-intercept, use the slope in the given information. So here's our slope-intercept form. We plug in. We know the slope of a parallel line for it. And so 4 equals b. Boom, we can write an equation now of a line that is parallel. Here it is, y equals 3x plus 4. Write an equation line that passes through -2, 11 and is parallel to the line y equals -x plus 5. Students, this is yours here. Is parallel to this given line here with this point here. Got to practice. So our slope here is -1, and then our point is -2 and 11 point. Then our slope, right equation line is parallel to the line. Okay, our slope here is -1 for this line here. Yes, here's your m there. And y equals mx plus b, so we just plug in. We plug in 11 here, and then our -2 goes here. And then that gives us 9 equals b, so here's our equation of the line that's parallel to the other line, y equals -x. Okay, perpendicular line. 2 lines in the same plane are perpendicular. They intersect to form a right angle. Horizontal and vertical lines are perpendicular to each other. Compare the slopes of the perpendicular lines shown. So we have a line here, slope -3/2. Rotate the line 90 degrees in clockwise direction about the origin to find a perpendicular line. Boom, here it is right here. Here's your perpendicular line to our original line here. So the slope of this thing here, what is it? It's 2/3. This was -3/2. This is 2/3. So how is this different than -3/2? Perpendicular lines, two non-vertical lines in the same plane have slopes that are negative reciprocals, then the lines are perpendicular. So if they're negative reciprocals of each other, they're perpendicular. If two non-vertical lines in the same plane are perpendicular, then their slopes are negative reciprocals. So that's another way of stating this up here. Okay, students, define in your own words converse and perpendicular. Okay, example 2, determine whether lines are parallel or perpendicular. Determine which lines, if any, are parallel or perpendicular. Line A, and then we have line B, x plus 5y equals 2. How are these lines related to each other? So, and then line C, we got 3 lines here. So, okay, find the slopes of the lines. The equation is in line A here, is in slope-intercept. We have slope and we have a y-intercept. Slope is 5. Write the equations for line B and C and slope-intercept form. Here's line B, x plus 5y. Then we put it in 5y equals negative x plus 5, and then it is negative 1/5 x plus 2/5 for y. Slope-intercept form. And then line C, negative 2y minus 2x. And we move this over here. Then we factor out a 5 from it. No, we factor out, what do we do here? We factored out 10. We took a negative 10 actually out of this and a negative 10 out of that, and we get y equals negative 1/5 x. So how are those lines related? The lines B and C have a slope of negative 1/5, so they are parallel. Line A has a slope of 5, the negative reciprocal of negative 1/5, so it is perpendicular to lines B and C. Okay, determine which lines, if any, are parallel perpendicular, and determine which lines, if any, are parallel perpendicular. Students, this is yours. We're going to do this one now in our guided practice. Okay, here are our lines. So what do we do? Line A, there's line A, and then we solve it for y, and we get y equals negative 1/3 x minus 1/2. That's line A. Line B, when we solve for y, we get y equals 3x minus 8, and then line C is like this. When we solve for y, we get negative 1.5y, then we have 3x minus 4 here for y. So how are these lines? Well, we got 2 lines here with the same slope, so those things are parallel, yes? Lines B and C have slopes 3, so they are parallel. Line A has a slope of negative 1/3, the negative reciprocal of 3, so it is perpendicular to both lines B and C. That is 4.5, and part 1, part 2, and part 3 is available here. Thank you.